Good morning, Jobman champions, and welcome to the last webinar of the year. I hope you are all well and surviving the the last part of the silly season coming up. Looking forward to a nice break at the end of the year. Mindful of how busy everyone is at this point of the time in the year, we're going to keep this one nice and short and brief. Give you some of the wrap-up information around the year in review. Have a look towards what we're looking at for 2025, including this webinar series, where we'll be going from here, and talking about a couple of the recent releases, just to keep you up to date with everything that's going on. So we did have a couple of new fantastic features come out in the last release. Just so everyone is aware, that is our last major release for the year. We always put development into a hiatus just before we go on break. Obviously, we don't want to release anything to the software that may have any unintended unintended consequences while we're not here. So we have put a full development release on hiatus at the moment, and then we look forward to coming back early in the new year, and we have a very vast schedule of development that's still planned to come on out and come on through. So Jobman will just keep getting better and better for you. Couple of the things that did come out, however, are absolutely phenomenal and certainly some functionality that a lot of clients have been looking forward to. And we're very excited that we're able to get those out before Christmas for you. The first major one, of course, is critical date sorting. So as many of you are aware, if you've seen the webinar series, you would be utilizing our critical dates throughout your software, predominantly in the job page, the progress charts, and of course reporting, and then on the agenda screens, so you can get some visibility around those key dates for your entire team to work towards that mission critical point whereby you get paid. So we were able this week to release critical date sorting in the job screens, the progress charts, and the reports, which is absolutely phenomenal now. So as you can see, you can now go in and filter your entire job page based on one of your set critical dates. As you know, you can have multiple, but we think this is an absolutely phenomenal improvement to the software so that now your job numbers become irrelevant and it will just be looking at the next dates ready to go out the door. So I know that's a big upgrade for a lot of people, something that we certainly had highly requested as soon as we released critical date functionality. And of course, we've also moved it into the reports for you. So when building your lead work in progress reports and your job work in progress reports, you can now also filter based on the critical dates, so you can keep always your eye on the prize, which is absolutely fantastic. We are still looking forward towards some other areas with which we can potentially use the critical date functionality sorting. We haven't made an executive decision on that yet, but as the requests come through, we certainly take them on instead, and always looking forward to improve the software for our clients and give you much better use out of everything that you're already using. In line with that, one of the probably more exciting releases this week, and it was a bit of a big one, was some quote UI improvements. So as most people would be aware, Jobman has one of the most powerful functional quoting systems given in a job management system. And it absolutely can breed a lot of improved efficiency and, of course, winning more work, which is ultimately what it's about. On top of that, we've got great functionality around profit-driven quoting so that you can make sure that before you've even accepted the job, you have everything instead on how much you should be making, which is a big win for so many companies. And we had a couple of large client feedback meetings towards the end of the year. We like to touch base with a lot of our users and really get a feel for what everyone's using and how they're using it, if any improvements can be made. And two of the big things that came up was a lot of the estimating teams generally would like more transparency in the quote itself. Just make it easier to validate the information, even though we have phenomenal reporting such as the quote summary report, which is an absolutely phenomenal tool to really make sure that your quoting is both validated and correct before, again, it even goes out the door to the client. And the two big areas we're able to improve on was, first of all, the description field. So the description field is a fantastic WYSIWYG tool that you can attach to your items. The best part about that field is it's nice and formatable. It also goes through to the quote templating, and it follows the quote into the invoicing side of Jobman if you use that part of our software to create quotes and then generate invoices and push those invoices out to your accounting platform. and utilize that information. So it was a great automation flow to have that information nice and transparent. You could write some beautiful notes to your clients. A lot of people quote their templates in a very simplistic way. They're looking just to create the items and the price without providing a detailed breakdown inside those items, such as kitchen and all the cabinets, for example, or benchtop and all the inclusions, so that they can't take the quote down the road and try and get a piece for piece comparison to your quoting process. However, a lot of people really do like a lot of information around the inclusions they're getting in the quote. And aside from the item spec template variables, which are a fantastic way of really automating your process to make sure that your clients are both getting the best format in their quote and all the information that they were looking for with your company to make sure that both the quote number and what they're getting makes a lot of sense. The description seemed to be a very, very popular field in which you can put extra information such as inclusions, some binomial information around what you provide in the quote without having to go through and list everything. So the two upgrades we've done around the description base for your quoting now is you'll notice that there's a new column. So you can use the drop down at the end of any column and you can bring this description up and it will feed from your item description in a really beautiful format. Now, the reason we went for the column formatting was simply because, one, it then makes it really easy to validate the information in the quote, just scanning through, but two, it also becomes hideable. Given that descriptions can be quite lengthy and it can take up a fair amount of real estate on your page, we always wanted to be in a position where you could see the information, but then if you want to just hide it and keep working through without having to scroll down a large number of pages to get through your quote, you could do that really easily. So we're really excited about that release. I think it makes the quoting far better from a validation point of view, but also just an ease of use and everyday functionality use of the software, which is what Jobman is always looking to improve. You will also notice that you can hover over the description now and it will bring up a short bubble effect, which has a breakdown of the description. So again, you don't have to click into the item anymore to remember what you've put through that description run, which is big upgrade. Absolutely fantastic. We really appreciate that feedback. The other one, which is something we've been working on for a while, is given the power of Jobman's styles to product creation in your system, basically the allowance to build a small number of products and have virtually an infinite number of variations on what you can quote on in a very bespoke manner, in a very quick manner. One of the things that many clients have noted over time is that there are several areas with which you can set up those styles. So you can set them at the quote level, the item level, or even right down to the product level, which is phenomenal. It's a really impressive part of how our software works and certainly lends to some extremely good quoting practices. But one of the downsides was, in order to see the information, you had to keep bringing up the descriptions again. So one of the big requests we had was a little bit more visibility around the style items. So it's easy again for the estimating teams to simply go in and validate the options that have chosen relevant to those products. And they can do it at the quote level, the item level, or the product level. And it's very common, I imagine, these days, especially in a lot of businesses, where even within an item, let's say a kitchen, there would be differing products with differing style effects, such as, two-tone doors and differential cabinets between your island benches and your upper cabinets, or in other industries, even having things like fencing breakdowns, and that the different styles chosen may still affect the same area. And it's good to have that visibility. So this is fantastic. Now you can simply hover over the style item. It will bring up a detailed range breakdown of what's included, whether it be a custom range or a preset range, depending on how you've built your software, and give you that information really quickly and really easy, which is absolutely fantastic. In this instance, we decided against the column idea simply because the real estate wastage and the fact that quite often description materials for style items can be quite lengthy. We didn't want to take up too much of your quoting real estate space for something that can be easily resolved with a nice hover tool validation. So very excited about that. I think that will make, certainly for estimating teams in many industries, just yet another efficiency improvement upon an already great system. So those two have come out. They're live in your software now. If you haven't seen them already, definitely check them. Critical date sorting and the quote UI improvements. I think they'll be very exciting and you'll get a lot of use out of them. As I said, we have put a hiatus on our development coming in to the end of year. However, we have a lot in the works. So don't be afraid. We've certainly got plenty. We're not slowing down in any way, shape, or form. We absolutely love improving this software all the time. We have a very good, well-staffed and driven team who have a very good focus on definitely making Jobman the best platform in the world, and we say that with all humility. We absolutely are always looking to make this platform even better and better. So there's a lot looking forward to early next year. I'm allowed to talk about a couple of them because I know they're very close to finishing out for the development for early out next year. One of the big ones that I know a lot of people have been looking forward to is the note improvements in the system. So this is certainly a big part of Jobman, is the transparency of information. It's always been a huge benefit to the software to have things like alerts, the ability to create notifications and email triggers in the system, and really keep the team on track. And as much as possible, we put a lot of information throughout the system that then can become visible to your team. From everything from task descriptions that can show up on agenda screens. So even as they're grabbing those tasks or operations, you can provide them with even more information. You can set up notations on priorities so that the entire team is aware of why this job or lead has been moved up or down our priority list. There are so many functional ways to communicate with your team with the software. One of the most common big questions we get, though, is that quite often teams just want to be able to create quick, easy notations against jobs or leads, information that can be quickly tracked. Definitely, historic activity is important to note taking, but just the ability to be able to see those notes in the system and share them with the team and then come back. So, for example, if you're working through a lead and you've been chatting to that lead and you're going on holidays next week, sometimes it's worth just putting some notes in there so that if someone's taking over that process, they can see where you're up to at a quick scan without having to go back through files or emails. And I think notes are a really powerful way of, certainly helping with that information. So a couple of big improvements coming. One will be the fact that we're going to move the notes to the main screens. So that's a big benefit. Flip them around with the activity to really help make that easier. So you've got one central place now. You can place that information and the team can see it. Obviously, kiosk, moving the notes out to the kiosk as well, we think is a big one, so that you can have that information now go two-way between the front of house and the back of house and really keep everyone up to date. And also some WYSIWYG improvement around that note handling, including functionality to give some roles for things like can you delete or update other people's notes, for example. So really exciting, looking forward to that. I know that's nearly finished in production and we should be looking forward to that early next year. And I'll certainly be doing a webinar on that because it's a big part of the communication improvement in the software, and certainly worth covering. Another one that I know is on way at the moment is the introduction of webhooks into our software. This is a big one. This has been waited for quite a while, and once that comes out, we'll be definitely covering this in a webinar part. For any of you that have taken advantage of the API integrations in our software or have looked to third-party development to connect Jobman up to other platforms you use, you will certainly be aware of how big a bonus this will be in our platform. So very excited for that one to come out. And again, we'll be covering that in the new year. And the other one, which is quite exciting, is we are starting to expand our list of supplier integrations. I can't say more than that, but the good news is coming into the beginning of next year, we will have some more supplier integrations coming on board pretty quickly, which will be very exciting, which just adds more and more benefit to your catalog purchase ordering and the power with which you can use one system to really manage your entire business. So that's very exciting, and that's just the beginning. We'll keep going from there. I did want to take a moment to have a quick sort of very brief bit of year in review around the development in Jobman. I think often one of the comments I get around platforms is that once you sort of set up a platform and you're using it in your business, one of the hardest things is then keeping on top of all the releases, everything that's coming through, and as the software improves and benefits your business, how to then take advantage of those things. And we certainly hope for most companies that, given one of the biggest benefits to having a job management system or ERP like Jobman is that we can buy you back a bit of your time, you do have an opportunity to be able to keep on top of those notes. And of course, we do as much as we can to let you know what's going on at all points, including these webinars as part of the big reason I do them, to make sure that everyone's on top of the new functionality, how they can use that for that business, for their business, sorry, and also the release notes which is a big one. And this year I was having a look through just some of the big features that have come out this year, and some absolute phenomenal stuff to come through. The catalog handling, the live sync with Hafele, massive world first development, imaging coming into the software, target calendar improvements, member types, and the ability to assign members and quickly advanced scheduling through segmentation, target calendar upgrades, the ability to link your target calendar to your kiosk. The list just went on and on and on. Quote summary reporting, I know, was an absolutely big win for so many companies. And that list I went through, and it was just phenomenal. And something I sort of wanted to bring up in regards to that, obviously, is we absolutely hope that you see those benefits and you get an opportunity to use them. So if you don't have a process in place, we recommend just keeping your eye on that doc. You can save it, you can bookmark it from our help screen. It's called the new features and our release notes, and they get updated every week. And it is definitely worth keeping your eye on them, because quite often people will come through and they'll make suggestions or recommendations or feature requests, ways to improve the software, certainly for their business, and we see that it will benefit other businesses as well. And then it comes out, and they, quite often don't realize that we've actually made it for them. So as a company, we're very progressive. We believe very much in proactive development rather than reactive, and continuously making the software better. So as a rule of thumb, I highly recommend you bookmark that up and make it part of your process just to check what's coming out. We also make a lot of small notes around smaller feature improvements and any bug fixes that may have come through. So if there's something you're waiting for, it's worth seeing. But I think the big takeaway from that is really just, if you were to look through just the 2024 release notes, you would see how much we have achieved in a year, and yet the price has not gone up. So I think that's my favorite part of software as a technology solution for business. You buy a machine or a car, and the minute you've bought it and you install it or bring it back to your workplace, it's already old. It's already old technology. You do not have the latest at your hands, and you have to wait 5 or 6 or 7, 10 years till you go buy the next technology to take advantage of anything that's developed between here and there. Whereas with Jobman, certainly as a solution, that will never be the case. Every single week, your software gets better, and you get more and more out of your platform and a return on investment at a continuous level. And that's very exciting. As part of that, I'd like to start announcing some of the big plans for next year in 2025. We have some intentions around going to some of the major events next year to make sure that we can bring the team out and start meeting some of our client base in areas face to face, and certainly give more people the opportunity to find out about this fantastic solution. On top of that, we've really made a very precise and conscientious effort to start really expanding on our educational network. One of the big things that we pride ourselves on, obviously, is our support. We have a phenomenal support team. We have hundreds of documents, many videos, and of course, series such as this webinar series, where we really spend a lot of time and energy and effort giving people as much free education and benefit as possible to get the most out of the software. On top of that, we've got phenomenal implementation partners who range in scale from, Empire Blueprint, just having your entire software built and handed to you based on your specs, through to, companies like System Fitters, who can do day rates out with you and come out and really help you get the most out of the platform. And I think it's important to note that, Jobman is quite a large system. And it does a lot. There is so much in this system that can really benefit your business. I mean, for most companies, it just takes that one feature. It's that one problem solution that solves the problem, that sees the return on investment, and the rest is just kind of like honey or gravy on the side. But to really get the best out of any platform like this, investing in the training and time to learn about it, really customize it for your business, just sees greater and greater returns. So on top of all the implementation partners and the free education, we even provide that one-on-one paid training, hour on hour. So very economical, very affordable way to get the best out of your software. We want to go even further. And one of the things we have definitely already begun planning for 2025 is our Jobman Tech Days. Now, to begin with, These will be local based, so they'll be for West Australian clients. So if you are in WA and you have considered the software, or you're looking at the software, or you have the software and you're looking to really get the most out of it, I absolutely highly recommend you reach out and get involved in these. These are going to be absolutely massive. Basically, we will have specialists on board. You can come in, get your head out of your business into the software and spend some really dedicated time building it and customizing it with the support you need around you to make it happen, as well as a phenomenal networking opportunity. Something I find that I love most about my job is often when I go out to businesses or I'm talking to businesses and I meet people, and then we're talking, and I might be out of their premise, and suppliers walk through the door, and we know the suppliers and we know the clients, and the ecosystem around which you will find like-minded people who really want to make sure that these Australian manufacturing industries succeed and profit and rise, is phenomenal. And it's not just us as part of that ecosystem. There's suppliers and integration partners. You've got your technology suppliers, you've got your machine suppliers, you've got your hardware suppliers, you've got your service suppliers, and even just other business owners. We have found in the past that by providing a forum in which you can get together with other business owners and really talk and network, and not just from a software point of view, understanding how you can get more out of your software and talking, how do you do this and the benefits we can think of, but also being able to talk about the benefits from which the software can provide that improvement and how you can take some of those ideas and implement in your business are absolutely phenomenal. So we have been working on this for a while, and we're very excited to announce that our first Tech Days will be launching in early 2025, February. And from there, we'll be looking to expand that to digital Tech Days, where we can achieve the same response, but on a larger scale, especially throughout Australia, New Zealand, and the rest of the world. We have a lot of clients on the East Coast and in New Zealand, and of course, the rest of the world. So we are definitely looking to scale this format so that we can become a digital presence. And then, of course, include some feedback and some special guests, such as implementation partners, business coaches, even suppliers, where they can come in. So we think that our clients will get a lot out of this. This will certainly help you. It's a great networking opportunity for everyone to talk about the industry and step up. But most importantly, it's a fantastic way to dedicate some time to really getting the most out of the platform. If you're only using one small part of it and it's giving you that return, amazing. But if you could use more, and we could just keep compounding that return to the point with which your business can run itself throughout this platform and the ecosystem we provide, that's even better. So stay tuned. We'll be setting out some EDMs around those, and we'll be marketing those pretty soon. And I imagine we'll be recording a few as well, so that again, there's more benefit coming out to our clients, even more and more education. And sometimes it's fantastic. My favorite part about Tech Day responses is often the questions. It's the questions coming from clients who are thinking about things in a different way and how best to answer that solution. And obviously Doxa can do a great job, but they can't take care of every custom question on the planet. So it's a fantastic way to learn more and network and communicate and really get the best out of your platform for your business, and just in general, improvement for your business as well. The number of ideas that I've seen spawned at these Tech Days and masterclasses, especially around industry changes. There've been a lot of legislative changes in the manufacturing industry recently. I think it's important we all stay, connected and in tune. And if Jobman can certainly help in any way, shape, or form to make those processes better or easier. I know one of the biggest releases this year that has been most widely adopted by virtually every company that employs Jobman is forms. We are fully across the fact that there are so many legalities now around the different states and areas and countries involving, your installation teams, or your dispatch, your manufacturing, accountability and all that sort of thing. And having those forms there in a digital sense, easy to make, easy to use, have just been an absolute savior for a lot of businesses. And that idea spawned from one of these meetings. It came from people saying, hey, we've got this need where we need to be able to create something digitally that can be signed off and checked and tick boxed and saved with staff members' names. So there's accountability to time and date as to when, for example, the site was finished, site cleaning was done, swims, maintenance, all those sorts of things. So very exciting. Stay tuned. If you are in Western Australia, absolutely feel free to reach out to me. And then we will start talking about the other expansion on those tech days, and the other events will be joining very soon thereafter. So the rest of Australia and the world can certainly take advantage of those. On top of that, we're very proud to announce we have a new addition to our training and implementation options. We are absolutely humbled by the fact that so many companies have come to us and really want to help businesses utilize and get the best out of Jobman. That's allowed us a massive factor of scalability to be able to help as many people get the most out of the platform. And the range and diversity between those companies is absolutely huge. Like I said, from Empire Blueprint, where they're absolutely phenomenal implementation platform, right through to one-on-one training, we have you covered. And I think that's a big thing for a lot of companies is so many companies I talk to have seen the power and benefit of a system like Jobman, and they know that this is the step, this is the light at the end of the tunnel that will absolutely take you out of chaos into a well-organized, well-oiled machine that is both profitable and scalable. And the most common thing I see behind that is the fear of getting up and running. It may be a fear of expertise, a fear of time, a fear of investment in to then see that. I get it. Everyone is busy. You're running a business, you're running your business, and quite often you are spending, 18 plus hours a day, up to 7 days a week trying to make that work. And the important thing, the message that we just want to keep getting across over and over, and one of the big reasons I do these webinars and I'm constantly trying to put out as much free education as possible is so that you really feel comfortable with the idea that Jobman has your back. And we're really, really excited to welcome Nigel to the team. Nigel Cornelius comes from many, many, many years of experience of implementation. He's worked with CRMs right through to massively complicated ERPs. He also has manufacturing experience. He's spent some time in the steel fab and custom industries here. So it's very exciting that he's able to bring his expertise both on a software and manufacturing front to the team. And you can book Nigel via our website. He is available via Zoom. So he is happy to work with clients all around Australia and all over the world. He has an hour-by-hour rate. It's very, very reasonable, and he can bring a lot of expertise to your company. He also now provides an option in Western Australia for a on-site implementer. So traditionally, most of our on-site implementers have worked on the East Coast or New Zealand, and now we're very excited that we have someone in our home base who can also come out and give you a hand with your business, or you can book and come to see us and spend some time with Nigel, which just, for a lot of people, it removes that fear factor. Someone's going to be there to hold your hand to make sure this happens and keep everything accountable so that you're not just seeing the investment, but you're receiving it. So very exciting. Nigel's live now. He's out. He's already starting to help companies. So don't be afraid. Jump on the website, go to our support and training area, and you can book in, or of course come via help, and we can send you the links to get in touch with Nigel, as well as our other implementation partners if you need them.